Each one of us has within us the potential to achieve greatness, but potential alone is not enough. You have dreams, visions, and goals that are waiting to be realized, but they won't just happen because you wish for them. You have to put in the effort, push beyond your comfort zone, and force yourself to get it done. There will always be obstacles, distractions, and reasons to quit. But your success, your legacy, depends on your ability to persevere. You must summon the discipline to rise above excuses, to overcome every challenge, and to stay focused. Excellence does not come to those who wait passively. It comes to those who force themselves to act when it's difficult, when it's inconvenient, and when it feels impossible. Purpose fuels persistence. It is the engine that drives every significant achievement, the inner fire that refuses to be extinguished by adversity or hardship. When you know why you are doing something, that purpose becomes the anchor that holds you steady, no matter the storms that come your way. Purpose is not just a feeling, nor is it a fleeting passion. It's a conviction, a clear understanding of the impact you are meant to make. When you understand the bigger picture, when you recognize that what you are doing is tied to a greater calling, the challenges you face become stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. The journey toward any worthwhile goal will not be smooth. There will be moments when everything within you screams to quit. You will face times of frustration, fatigue, and doubt. But if your purpose is clear, it becomes impossible to give up. It's purpose that whispers in your ear when your body and mind are tired, reminding you that there is something greater at stake. It pulls you out of bed in the morning, even when you feel defeated, and urges you to keep going. Because you are not working for temporary gratification, you are working toward a legacy. When the road gets hard, when you feel like you're at your breaking point, it's easy to lose sight of the destination. But purpose is what brings you back into focus. It reminds you that every struggle is part of the process and that no obstacle is bigger than your reason for starting. It gives meaning to the pain, turning setbacks into lessons and difficulties into opportunities for growth. Endurance to keep going when the finish line seems distant, because you understand that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to fulfilling that higher calling. So purpose is not just the starting point, it is the fuel for the entire journey. It keeps you grounded, focused, and resilient. It ensures that no matter how difficult the path, you will keep pressing forward because what you are pursuing is bigger than the obstacles you face. Purpose makes quitting not an option. It drives you to persist, not because you have to, but because you must. You are called to finish what you started. Discipline is the quiet force that drives success, the unshakable foundation on which lasting achievements are built. While motivation often captures our attention, sparking energy and excitement, it is fleeting here today and gone tomorrow. Motivation is like a burst of wind that can push you forward for a moment, but once it fades, you are left standing still. Discipline, however, is different. It is not swayed by emotional circumstance. It is a decision, a commitment that remains firm whether the skies are sunny or filled with clouds. Motivation makes you feel good about starting. It fills you with optimism, makes the road seem easy, and fuels your passion for the moment. But when the inevitable challenges arise, when the path becomes difficult, motivation can abandon you. It relies too much on feelings, and feelings change. There will be days when you wake up without the spark, without the excitement. There will be moments when the journey feels overwhelming and progress seems slow. What will keep you moving then? What will carry you forward when motivation is nowhere to be found? This is where discipline becomes essential. Discipline is not about how you feel, it's about what you are committed to. It's the ability to push through, even when your emotions are pulling you in the opposite direction. Discipline says, I will do what needs to be done. No matter how I feel, it is the decision to keep going, to keep working, to keep striving, regardless of whether the initial excitement has worn off. With discipline, you don't wait for the perfect conditions to act. You create the conditions by consistently showing up and putting in the work. It's about setting a standard for yourself and following through with it, day after day. Discipline turns intentions into actions and actions into results. It turns dreams into realities, not through occasional bursts of effort, but through consistent, steady progress. Think about any great accomplishment. Behind the scenes, it wasn't just moments of inspiration or flashes of motivation that got it done. It was the discipline to keep moving forward, to keep refining, improving, and pushing past obstacles. Discipline builds habits, and habits shape your destiny. The person who wakes up early every morning to work on their craft, regardless of how they feel, will always outlast the person who only works when they feel like it. Discipline also brings with it a deeper sense of fulfillment. While motivation seeks instant gratification, discipline understands the value of delayed reward. It knows that true success doesn't come overnight, it comes through perseverance. Discipline says, I am willing to sacrifice now for something greater later. It's not about what feels good in the moment. It's about what will bring long-term fulfillment and purpose. And that's where real growth happens. There will be moments when the journey feels like too much, when you are tired, frustrated, or tempted to give up. But discipline will remind you why you started. It will give you the strength to push through, not because it's easy, but because you've committed to seeing it through to the end. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every step, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goal. Discipline also builds resilience. It trains you to keep going in the face of adversity, to maintain focus even when distractions are pulling at you. It strengthens your character and sharpens your resolve. When you rely on discipline, you become unshakable. No setback can deter you, no challenge can overwhelm you, because you've developed the habit of persistence. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark has gone out. It is what transforms vision into reality, ideas into action, and dreams into accomplishments. Discipline ensures that even on your worst days, you are still making progress. It keeps you grounded when the journey becomes tough, and it keeps you moving when others would have given up. In the end, discipline is what separates those who wish from those who achieve. It is the consistent, unwavering force that will take you further than any temporary burst of motivation ever could. While motivation may get you started, it is discipline that will see you through to the finish line. Progress requires sacrifice. Every step forward comes at a cost, and that cost is something you must be willing to pay. Whether it's time, energy, comfort, or personal convenience, progress demands that you give up something in the present for the sake of a greater future. Nothing worthwhile is achieved without letting go of something that holds you back, no matter how comfortable or familiar it may seem. In life, you cannot have both comfort and growth at the same time. Growth requires stretching, pushing beyond the limits of where you've been before. And that stretch is often uncomfortable. It means giving up your current level of ease to reach a higher level of achievement. The path to progress is paved with sacrifices of time, leisure, and sometimes relationships or habits that no longer serve your purpose. But it is this willingness to let go of the lesser things that opens the door to greater things. Many people desire success, but few are willing to make the sacrifices necessary to achieve it. It's easy to dream of a better life, of reaching new heights, but the reality is that progress comes at a price. If you're not willing to make that trade-off, you'll stay stuck where you are. Success in any area, whether personal, professional, or spiritual, requires you to surrender something now for a reward that comes later. Time is one of the greatest sacrifices you'll have to make. You can't use time the same way everyone else does if you expect to achieve uncommon results. While others may spend their hours in leisure, you'll have to devote yours to learning, growing, and honing your craft. The late nights, the early mornings, the hours spent in preparation while the world sleeps, these are the sacrifices that set the foundation for success. Time spent now in hard work will yield dividends in the future. But if you are unwilling to invest that time, progress will elude you. Another sacrifice is comfort. The natural tendency is to stay where you are most at ease, but comfort is the enemy of progress. Progress calls for you to step out of what feels safe and familiar and venture into the unknown. It demands that you risk failure, endure criticism, and push through discomfort. Growth happens outside of the comfort zone, in the places where challenges force you to stretch your abilities. It's only by embracing the discomfort of the process that you can move toward the goals you seek. Sacrifice also involves letting go of certain habits and mindsets that no longer serve your purpose. You may have to give up procrastination, distractions, or even toxic relationships that drain your energy. These sacrifices can be difficult because they often involve parting with things that have been a part of your life for a long time. But to move forward, you must be willing to leave behind what holds you back. You cannot hold on to everything and expect to move ahead. Something must be released to make room for growth. Additionally, sacrifice requires enduring temporary loss for long-term gain. This is perhaps one of the hardest parts of the journey. You may have to forgo immediate pleasures or short-term rewards for something greater that takes time to manifest. This kind of sacrifice demands patience and perseverance, but it's this very trade-off that leads to lasting success. Progress requires you to look beyond the present moment, to fix your eyes on the future and be willing to endure now for the greater reward that awaits. But here's the truth: every sacrifice made in the name of progress ultimately becomes an investment. The time you give up, the comfort you leave behind, the habits you break, and the mindsets you shift all contribute to your growth. Each sacrifice becomes a stepping stone toward your goal, a necessary part of the process that shapes you into the person capable of achieving what you desire. Sacrifice refines you, strengthens you, and prepares you for the greater levels of responsibility and success that are to come. There is a price to progress, but the reward is far greater than the cost. The temporary discomfort, the hours of hard work, the letting go of what no longer serves you, all of this is shaping you into the person you need to become. Sacrifice is not a loss, it's the necessary exchange for something better. Without it, progress remains a distant wish, but with it, you open the door to new possibilities, new opportunities, and the fulfillment of your purpose. Resistance is a constant force in life, and it shows up in many forms: fear, doubt, distractions, fatigue, and even external obstacles. It's the barrier that stands between where you are and where you want to be. The key to breaking through that resistance is not found in occasional bursts of effort or moments of inspiration, but in the power of consistency. It is the steady, deliberate, and intentional actions that you take each day that enable you to overcome resistance and make lasting progress. Resistance will always challenge your resolve. It tries to slow you down, to make you question your ability, to distract you from your path. It thrives on hesitation, waiting for the moments when your energy fades or when your focus wavers. In those moments, it's easy to give in, to let resistance win. But when you understand the power of consistency, you realize that overcoming resistance isn't about doing something extraordinary once, it's about doing the ordinary things again and again until they become extraordinary. Consistency doesn't mean you have to make giant leaps every day. It's about taking small steps, but doing so with unwavering commitment. Even when progress feels slow, even when the results seem distant, consistency ensures that you are always moving forward. Every day that you show up, every day that you put in the effort, you are chipping away at the resistance. Over time, that persistent effort accumulates, and before you know it, you've built momentum. Momentum is the enemy of resistance, and it is created by consistency. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is that it builds habits. When you repeat an action consistently, it becomes ingrained in you. What once required effort becomes second nature. The more consistent you are, the less you have to rely on motivation or willpower. You begin to act out of habit, and habits shape your destiny. When you make consistency your standard, resistance loses its grip because you've trained yourself to keep moving regardless of how you feel. Resistance often shows up in the form of procrastination. It convinces you that you can wait until tomorrow, that you don't have to take action today. But consistency breaks that lie by establishing a routine of discipline. It says, I will do what needs to be done today, not tomorrow. Consistency thrives on the present moment. It doesn't wait for the perfect conditions, the perfect time, or the perfect feeling. It acts now, even in the face of resistance, because it understands that every moment matters. Overcoming resistance also requires a shift in perspective. Many people view resistance as a wall that stops them, but consistency allows you to see resistance as part of the process. It teaches you to embrace the struggle, knowing that each challenge is an opportunity for growth. With consistency, you stop fearing resistance and start seeing it as something you can outlast. Resistance may be strong, but it is not permanent. Consistency, however, can be. Every day that you push through resistance with consistent action, you are proving to yourself that you are stronger than the obstacles you face. You are building resilience, endurance, and a mindset that refuses to be defeated. Consistency is the quiet strength that keeps you moving when others have stopped, that keeps you focused when others are distracted. It's the key to staying in the race long after motivation has faded. In the face of resistance, consistency also gives you clarity. The more consistent you are in your efforts, the more you learn, adapt, and refine your approach. It is through repeated actions that you begin to understand what works and what doesn't. Consistency brings you closer to mastery. Every small effort, every repeated attempt brings you a step closer to your goal. It may not be glamorous, but it is powerful. The truth is, consistency doesn't require you to be extraordinary every day. It requires you to show up every day. It's about doing what needs to be done, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Especially on those days. It's easy to be consistent when everything is going well, but true consistency is forged in moments of difficulty. It's when resistance is strongest that consistency becomes your greatest weapon. When you commit to consistency, you commit to long-term growth. You understand that true success is not achieved overnight, but through steady, incremental progress. You no longer allow resistance to dictate your actions because you have chosen a path of persistence. In the end, consistency overcomes resistance because it outlasts it. Resistance may come and go, but consistency is what remains, steadily moving you forward, no matter how tough the journey becomes. In overcoming resistance with consistency, you learn the most important lesson of all, that success is not about how fast you go, but about how consistently you move. It's not about the grand gestures, but the daily choices. Each day, each effort, no matter how small, brings you closer to your destination. Resistance can only stop you if you let it, but with consistency, you become unstoppable. Mastering your mindset is the foundation for mastering your life. Your thoughts are the birthplace of every decision, every action, and every outcome. The greatest battles are not fought in the external world, but within the mind. How you think determines the direction of your life, whether you rise to your potential or settle for less than you are capable of. To master your mindset is to take control of your future, shaping your reality through intentional thoughts and perspectives. Your mind is the control center of your being. It is where every idea is formed, where every plan is crafted, and where your beliefs about yourself and the world take shape. But the mind is also where the greatest challenges emerge. Fear, doubt, negativity, and insecurity all begin as thoughts that, if left unchecked, can dominate your life. Mastering your mindset means recognizing that these mental barriers exist, but also understanding that you have the power to overcome them. The first step to mastery is awareness, being aware of the thoughts that enter your mind and learning to filter those that do not align with your purpose. Thoughts are powerful. They are seeds that grow into actions. If you constantly feed your mind with doubt, fear, and limitations, those thoughts will manifest in your actions and eventually in your reality. But if you plant seeds of possibility, hope, faith, and determination, you cultivate a mindset that empowers you to pursue your purpose without hesitation. Mastering your mindset is about training yourself to focus on what is possible rather than what is impossible. It is about shifting from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, from limitations to possibilities. Your mindset shapes your perception, and your perception shapes your reality. Two people can face the same challenge, but the one with a positive, growth-oriented mindset will see an opportunity where the other sees only obstacles. Mastering your mindset means developing the ability to see beyond your immediate circumstances. It's about training yourself to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to your progress. When your mind is focused on solutions instead of problems, you unlock a level of creativity and resilience that pushes you forward even in the face of adversity. One of the most important aspects of mastering your mindset is learning to silence the inner critic. That voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that your dreams are too big, that failure is inevitable. Those thoughts are the greatest enemies of progress. They keep you playing small, paralyzed by fear and doubt. But the truth is, you have the ability to silence that voice by replacing it with affirmations of your potential. Mastering your mindset requires constant vigilance over the dialogue that happens within. You must intentionally speak words of life, possibility, and courage to yourself, even when you feel uncertain. Another key to mastering your mindset is developing mental discipline. The mind, like any muscle, requires training. If left undisciplined, it will wander into negativity, laziness, and distraction. But when you train your mind through focus, meditation, and purposeful thinking, it becomes a powerful tool for success. Mental discipline means choosing your thoughts carefully and guarding your mind against influences that do not serve your purpose. It means focusing on long-term goals rather than short-term pleasures and staying committed to your vision even when the road gets tough. Your mindset also determines how you handle failure. A person who has mastered their mindset does not see failure as the end, but as part of the journey. They understand that setbacks are temporary and that each failure brings with it valuable lessons. Instead of giving up, they use failure as a stepping stone to improve, adapt, and try again. This resilience is born from a mindset that sees failure not as a reflection of their worth, but as an opportunity for growth. When you master your mindset, failure loses its power over you because you no longer fear it, you understand it is simply a part of the process. Mastering your mindset means cultivating a sense of gratitude and contentment, even in the midst of challenges. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, your perspective shifts from one of scarcity to one of abundance. This doesn't mean settling for less, it means appreciating the progress you've made while continuing to strive for more. Gratitude strengthens your mindset because it reminds you that, despite the challenges, there is always something to be thankful for. It fuels your perseverance and helps you maintain a positive outlook, even when things are difficult. Finally, mastering your mindset is about aligning your thoughts with your purpose. When your thoughts are in harmony with your vision, you create momentum. You become unstoppable because your mind is no longer a battleground of conflicting ideas and fears, but a focused channel of purpose and intention. Your thoughts, when aligned with your purpose, give you the clarity, energy, and drive needed to achieve your goals. They keep you moving forward with confidence, knowing that what you think, you will become. Mastering your mindset is a lifelong journey. It requires daily commitment and intentionality. But once you learn to control your thoughts, you gain control over your life. You begin to act not based on fear, doubt, or limitations, but from a place of strength, vision, and purpose. In mastering your mindset, you unlock your true potential and create the path for fulfilling your destiny. Failure is part of the process of growth and success. It is not something to be feared or avoided, but something to be embraced and understood as an essential element of the journey toward greatness. Many people are paralyzed by the fear of failure, allowing it to hold them back from pursuing their dreams and fulfilling their potential. But when you truly grasp the nature of failure, you realize it is not the end of the road, it is simply a stepping stone on the path to success. Failure is a teacher. It provides valuable lessons that no amount of success can offer. When things go wrong, when plans don't unfold as expected, or when you fall short of your goals, failure gives you the opportunity to reflect, adjust, and grow. It reveals the areas that need improvement and highlights the adjustments that must be made. Every failure is a mirror, reflecting what went wrong and showing you what needs to be done differently next time. Without failure, there is no feedback, and without feedback, there is no improvement. Many people view failure as a mark of inadequacy, but this mindset is a limitation. Failure is not a reflection of your worth or your potential. It is simply an indication that something in your approach needs to change. Failure doesn't mean you are incapable or that your dreams are too big. It means you are in the process of learning. Every great success story is built on a foundation of failures, times when things didn't work out, but the individuals involved chose to learn and press forward instead of giving up. Success and failure are intertwined. You cannot have one without the other. Every success you admire is the result of someone who persevered through failures, setbacks, and disappointments. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not the absence of mistakes, but the way they respond to them. Those who succeed understand that failure is a part of the process, and they don't let it stop them. Instead, they let it refine them, strengthen them, and prepare them for greater success. Failure builds resilience. Each time you face a setback and choose to get back up, you become stronger. Your ability to endure increases, and your capacity to handle challenges grows. This resilience is a key ingredient for long-term success. Life will throw obstacles in your way, and the journey will not always be smooth, but failure teaches you how to navigate those rough waters. It strengthens your resolve and builds the mental toughness necessary to withstand future challenges. Failure also cultivates humility. It reminds you that no matter how skilled or prepared you are, there is always more to learn. It humbles you by showing that success is not guaranteed, and it makes you more open to advice, correction, and growth. This humility is a critical aspect of leadership and achievement because it keeps you grounded. It reminds you that the journey is continuous and that there is always room to improve, grow, and expand your capabilities. When you embrace failure as part of the process, you free yourself from the paralyzing fear that often accompanies it. The fear of failure can hold you back from taking risks, trying new things, or stepping into opportunities that could lead to great rewards. But when you shift your mindset and see failure as a natural and necessary part of your progress, you are liberated to take bold action. You no longer see failure as a dead end, but as part of the journey, one that is preparing you for greater things. Failure sharpens your focus. Each setback forces you to reevaluate your strategy, to become more intentional about your next move. It clarifies what works and what doesn't, guiding you toward a more refined approach. In this way, failure is like a sculptor, chipping away at the unnecessary elements and shaping you into the person you need to become in order to achieve your goals. Without failure, there is no refinement. It is through this process that you gain the clarity and wisdom that success requires. It's also important to understand that failure is temporary. Too often people see failure as a permanent state, as though it defines their entire journey. But failure is only a moment in time, a single chapter in a much larger story. When you keep going despite failure, you realize that it is not the end, but a transition point. Success is not about avoiding failure, but moving through it, learning from it, and continuing toward your vision. Every failure brings you one step closer to the outcome you desire if you don't give up. Failure tests your commitment. It challenges how badly you want to succeed. When faced with failure, you must ask yourself, am I willing to keep going? Am I willing to adjust, to learn, and to try again? This process reveals your level of dedication and separates those who are truly committed from those who are merely interested. If you are serious about your purpose, failure won't deter you. It will drive you to push harder, to innovate, and to persevere until you reach your goal. Ultimately, failure is part of the process because it refines you. It tests your character, strengthens your resolve, and prepares you for the weight of success. The lessons learned in failure are the very tools you need to sustain success when it arrives. Without failure, there would be no growth, no resilience, and no true understanding of what it takes to succeed. In the end, failure is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. It is part of your journey, part of your story, and part of the process of becoming who you are meant to be. Each failure brings with it the seeds of success, and if you continue to learn, adapt, and move forward, you will find that failure has only prepared you for greater things ahead. Surrounding yourself with accountability is essential for achieving any significant goal or fulfilling your purpose. Accountability is the system that ensures you stay on track, committed to your vision, and responsible for your actions. Without it, even the best intentions can fade, and the most passionate pursuits can lose momentum. No one achieves greatness in isolation. The people you surround yourself with, those who hold you accountable, play a critical role in your growth, progress, and ultimate success. Accountability begins with a choice, choosing to invite others into your journey, allowing them to speak into your life, challenge you, and keep you focused on the path you've chosen. This is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. It is an acknowledgement that none of us are immune to distractions, setbacks, or moments of doubt. We all need someone to remind us of our commitment when the road gets difficult, to encourage us when we feel like giving up, and to push us beyond our comfort zones when we are tempted to settle for less. The people you surround yourself with have a powerful influence on your mindset, actions, and habits. If you are surrounded by individuals who are complacent, who make excuses, or who are content with mediocrity, their mindset can begin to rub off on you. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who hold you to a higher standard, who refuse to let you settle for anything less than your best, they lift you to new heights. Accountability partners challenge your thinking, push you beyond your limits, and remind you of the vision when you lose sight of it. Accountability creates a structure of discipline. When you know that someone is checking on your progress, asking about your goals, and expecting results, it becomes much harder to make excuses. Accountability forces you to take responsibility for your actions because you are no longer operating in isolation. It is easy to convince yourself to take shortcuts or justify a lack of effort when no one is watching. But when you are accountable to others, you are less likely to slack off because you know someone will be asking you the tough questions. This level of accountability requires transparency and honesty. You must be willing to be vulnerable, to admit when you're struggling, and to accept constructive criticism. It's not about having people in your life who only tell you what you want to hear. It's about surrounding yourself with those who care enough to tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. These are the people who won't let you make excuses or settle for less than you are capable of. They are the ones who will call you out when you stray from your path, but they will also be there to celebrate your victories and encourage you when you need it most. Accountability also fosters growth by exposing you to perspectives and experiences outside of your own. The people you choose to be accountable to often have different strengths, insights, and approaches that can help you see things from a new angle. They can point out blind spots you may have overlooked and offer solutions you hadn't considered. This broadening of perspective is vital for personal and professional development, as it challenges you to think differently and to grow in areas where you may have been stagnant. Moreover, accountability keeps you connected to your purpose. When you are surrounded by people who understand your goals and share your vision, they become a constant reminder of why you started in the first place. During moments of doubt or fatigue, these individuals can reignite your passion by reminding you of your why. They keep you focused on the bigger picture, helping you navigate through distractions and setbacks that might otherwise derail your progress. Accountability also cultivates consistency. Success is not the result of one-time efforts, but of sustained, disciplined action over time. However, staying consistent is one of the most challenging aspects of any journey. Life is full of distractions, and motivation can wane. Accountability ensures that you stay committed, even when the initial excitement wears off. The people who hold you accountable will push you to keep going, to stay disciplined, and to maintain the habits that lead to long-term success. They become the external force that keeps you moving forward, especially when your internal motivation is running low. It is important to choose your accountability partners wisely. Not everyone is suited for this role. The people you allow to hold you accountable should be those who are genuinely invested in your success, who understand your goals, and who are committed to helping you reach them. They should also be individuals who embody the qualities you aspire to, whether it's discipline, perseverance, integrity, or wisdom. The right accountability partners will inspire you by their example, pushing you to elevate your standards and to strive for excellence. Accountability is not a one-way street, it is reciprocal. Just as you seek to be held accountable, you should also be willing to hold others accountable. This mutual exchange creates a culture of growth, where everyone involved is pushing each other to become better. It fosters a sense of community, where success is celebrated and setbacks are addressed with support and encouragement. Together, you create an environment where growth is the norm and progress is expected. In the end, surrounding yourself with accountability is about creating an ecosystem of success. It's about recognizing that you cannot do it alone, and that having the right people around you makes all the difference. These individuals become your support system, your motivators, your challengers, and your guides. They ensure that you stay on course, that you don't give up, and that you reach your full potential. Accountability turns good intentions into tangible results, and it transforms your journey from a solo endeavor into a collective mission toward greatness. Celebrating the small wins is a powerful principle in the journey towards success. Too often, we focus solely on the final goal, waiting for the big moments of achievement to feel validated. But the truth is, greatness is built one step at a time through a series of small, seemingly insignificant victories that accumulate over time. When you learn to recognize and celebrate these small wins, you not only fuel your motivation, but also reinforce a mindset of progress and growth. Small wins are the building blocks of success. Every great achievement is the sum of many small accomplishments. Whether it's completing a task, reaching a milestone, or simply taking a step forward, each of these small wins moves you closer to your ultimate goal. They may not always feel monumental, but they are essential because they represent movement in the right direction. When you celebrate these moments, you acknowledge the importance of the process, not just the destination. In life, the journey is often long and the end goal may feel distant. During this journey, it's easy to become discouraged if you're only focused on the big outcome. Celebrating small wins provides a sense of accomplishment along the way, allowing you to enjoy the progress you're making. It shifts your focus from what you haven't yet achieved to what you have. This perspective is vital for sustaining motivation and keeping your spirit uplifted. It reminds you that every step matters and each win, no matter how small, brings you closer to your vision. Small wins also have a compounding effect. Each time you acknowledge and celebrate a victory, you build momentum. Success, like a snowball rolling downhill, grows as it continues. Small wins create positive reinforcement that motivates you to keep going, to push a little harder, and to stay consistent in your efforts. They generate energy and excitement, transforming what might seem like a tedious or slow process into one filled with moments of triumph. These wins keep you engaged and excited about your progress, making the journey far more enjoyable. Celebrating small wins also helps to cultivate a mindset of gratitude. It's easy to become fixated on what's still lacking, on the goals that haven't yet been reached. But when you take time to appreciate the progress you've made, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. You begin to see how far you've come instead of focusing solely on how far you still have to go. Gratitude is a powerful force that not only lifts your spirits, but also attracts more success. When you're thankful for the small wins, you create an environment where even more victories can flourish. Moreover, recognizing small wins builds confidence. Every time you achieve something, no matter how small, it reinforces the belief that you are capable of success. Confidence is built through experience, through doing, and through seeing results, even if they are incremental. Celebrating your wins reminds you that you are making progress, that your efforts are paying off, and that you have what it takes to succeed. This growing sense of confidence empowers you to take on bigger challenges, knowing that you can handle the journey one step at a time. Small wins also serve as checkpoints, markers along the road that allow you to measure your progress. They provide a tangible reminder that you are moving forward. Without these markers, it's easy to feel lost, unsure if you're making any real progress. Celebrating small wins gives you clarity and assurance that the work you're putting in is leading somewhere. It breaks the overwhelming journey into manageable pieces, allowing you to focus on the next step instead of becoming daunted by the entire journey. Celebrating small wins isn't just about personal satisfaction, it's also about fostering a sense of community and collaboration. When you share your wins with others, you invite them into your journey. This creates a network of support where people can celebrate your progress with you and offer encouragement when needed. It builds relationships and strengthens connections because others can see your commitment and perseverance. Celebrating together also reinforces a culture of positivity, where progress is recognized and valued, no matter how small. Additionally, celebrating the small wins teaches you to appreciate the process of growth. The journey toward any meaningful goal is often filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. If you're only focused on the end result, you may miss the beauty of the process, the lessons learned, the character developed, and the resilience built along the way. Each small win is a reminder that growth is happening, that you are evolving, and that the process itself is just as important as the destination. It allows you to enjoy the present while still working toward the future. Celebrating small wins also guards against burnout. When you're relentlessly pursuing a goal without pausing to acknowledge the progress you've made, you run the risk of becoming exhausted or disillusioned. The journey can begin to feel like an endless grind. However, when you intentionally celebrate your wins, you create moments of rest and reflection. These celebrations are like pit stops on a long race where you refuel and recharge before continuing. They give you the energy to keep going, ensuring that you don't lose sight of the bigger picture due to fatigue or frustration. Ultimately, celebrating small wins is about recognizing that success is not a single event, but a journey made up of many moments. Each step forward is worth celebrating because each step represents progress. When you learn to find joy in the small victories, you create a life that is not only filled with achievement, but also with fulfillment. You realize that every day offers opportunities for success, and you embrace the process with a heart full of gratitude, confidence, and excitement. Success is not just about reaching the finish line, it's about appreciating every step along the way. When you celebrate the small wins, you affirm that you are on the right path, that your efforts are making a difference, and that greatness is being built one moment at a time. There's no shortcut to success. If you want to accomplish your goals, you must force yourself to get it done. No matter how you feel, no matter what stands in your way, make the decision to press forward. The reward is always worth the effort.